Hey guys, it's Nolan, and I'm bringing you my Week 2 Team Builder and match video, this time against T4U and the Boston Red Sox. So looking at his team, bunch of big threats here. That Mega Garchomp, I used that last season, had a lot of success with it. I know how threatening that thing can be, so I'm scared of that, although I do think I have some answers. Though to be honest, what I'm more scared about are his defensive options. Chansey, Galarian Weezing, and Moltres all form a really good defensive core that I think is going to be difficult to break through. And then Jirachi's just in there; it can do almost anything, so that's also super hard to prep for. Let's see what I brought this week. So starting off, for the first time, I'm going to bring in my Mega Medicham. Really excited to use this. Basically just going to be using it as my breaker. So running moves, Zen Headbutt, Thunder Punch. Hits a lot of his team for super effective. Power Up Punch, just boosting that power to insane levels. And then even Bullet Punch, if I just need to clean something up, like if that Lycanroc is there at the end, don't have to worry about, it outspeeding me, going for like a player off or something like that. I can just hit that Bullet Punch and I'd basically just knock it out. His main answer, I think, to this is definitely going to be that Galarian Weezing, especially since I'm assuming he'll be running neutralizing gas, so my pure power will disappear, which is another reason I'm running Power Up Punch. If I get a +1 or even +2, even a non-pure power Zen Headbutt has a chance to KO, or one-hit KO, and it'll almost certainly a two-hit KO. So yeah. That Galarian Weezing really isn't an answer to Mega Medicham as much as I think it would be. Moving on next, I'm bringing Celesteela. This is going to be my sweeper for the week. Flash Cannon, Air Slash, Leech Seed, and Autotomize. It has just enough speed to outspeed everything, provided nothing is wearing a scarf. I'm assuming something is, but to be honest, Celesteela is so bulky, I am running at max HP that I'm not really worried about whatever attacks are going to be thrown against this. So yeah. Also, packing that Leech Seed. I'm imagining I'm going to get this thing in and set up against Chansey. And really the only thing Chansey can do to me is going to be Seismic Tossing. And if, the Leech Seed in combination with my leftovers, I'm going to be healing off so much damage that that Chansey really isn't going to be able to take me out before I can set up, maybe lower its SPDF with Flash Cannon or get a couple flinches with Air Slash. I'm really hopeful that this can put in the work I'm expecting it to. Moving on next, this is the start of my defensive core here. My Rotom Heat, running Volt Switch, Overheat, Will-O-Wisp, and Pain Split. This is going to be my main answer to his Jirachi. Nothing Jirachi can go for outside of Ancient Power really does any damage to me. That Ancient Power set is definitely one I need to be worried about. Serene Grace, Ancient Power, if he gets the +1 to all his stats, that's going to be a really scary thing to deal with. I don't have a ton of answers for that. So I'm hoping either he doesn't bring Ancient Power, or he doesn't get the Omni boost on it. Volt Switch, just be able to pivot around on most of his team. His only ground type being that Mega Garchomp, and if that comes in, I can obviously Will-O-Wisp burn that thing. Pain Split to get my health back. Yeah, so we'll see what this can do. Next, I'm bringing Quagsire. This week, running it fully Phys-Def with Scald, Earth Power, Recover, and Yawn. Scald and Earth Power hit a ton on his team for respectable damage. Recover obviously for longevity, and then Yawn, I'm hoping be able to fade things on his team. If he is setting up with his Mega Garchomp, obviously I'm unaware, so I don't care about any of that, and I can just Yawn, either put that thing to sleep or scare it out of there, and just catch things on switches. If he does bring that Leavanny, maybe I can anticipate that, go for the Yawn, and either have that go to sleep and then be able to set up on it, or scare it out. Something like that. So I'm really think this will be fun running this defensively. And to kind of pair along with it, bringing Sarina this week. assault vest, fully SPDF. Now this is, I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to bring this or not. Being that it is my special wall, it honestly has a lot of weaknesses to a lot of his special threats. The other option I was thinking about bringing was going to be Assault Vest Mr. Rhyme. But I did some testing and I really appreciated what Tsarina's moveset could bring to this, that being knockoff and U-turn, because obviously Mr. Rhyme gets rapid spin there. And even Chop Kick is great. Being able to come in against, Lycan Rock and not take a ton of damage, or going in against that Mega Garchomp, maybe be able to take one hit, drop its attack a little bit, something like that. So I think this will do well. I'm not super expecting to bring hazards this week. Maybe Leavani, Sticky Web there, and you probably bring Stealth Rock in either Chansey or Lycan Rock. Though he certainly doesn't have to. My team isn't super weak to rocks, so he might just not bring hazards this week, which would be more than fine when we don't have to worry about rabbit spin anything away. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. And then the final thing I'm bringing can be Dragapult, which I'm running Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf Jolly, actually. The fun thing about this is, even if his Mega Garchomp gets the +2, this will still outspeed. And I can hit with the Dragon Darts to, knock the thing out. Even if he's a sub, if he subs up, gets a couple scale shots off, I will still be able to kill it pretty easily. Phantom Force hits most of the things on his team, the exception there obviously being Chansey, so I need to make sure that before I bring this in to clean up, Chansey is dead. And that's really going to be the thing this week, is making sure I can kill Chansey as soon as I can, so that all my other threats can come in and clean up. So let's go to the battle now. Okay, and we're back with the matchup. So looking at his team, two threats there I really didn't want to see, being Galarian Weezing and Chansey. That 1-2 punch of the physical and special defending big tanks is going to be real tough for me to break through. Also going along with that, the Galarian Zapdos, Jirachi, and Keldeo, three things I kind of expected and was kind of afraid of him bringing. Guessing a few of those may be choiced in some way. I could see both of them either being scarfed or one being banded, one being specs. Just depends on how he wants to play it. And then I really forgot to prep for that Electros. Probably could have done better there. Now, seeing it's come, assuming it has Giga Drain, so got to be worried about that with my Quagsire. Other than that, it's going to be taking hits and pivoting out, so it's just going to be annoying, I think. So starting off, I'm going to lead here with my Rotom. I can either Will-O-Wisp or Volt Switch out on basically anything on his team, as he leads his Jirachi. Seeing this, thought it might be smart, just get a Will-O-Wisp buff. Nothing on his team save Chansey. He really wants to come in and take that Will-O-Wisp. In hindsight, maybe a Volt Switch would have been better, because it's almost guaranteed he's going to be pivoting out here. Doesn't want the overheat coming his way. So I do manage to land that Will-O-Wisp. Doesn't really matter much, as obviously Chansey has Healer as its ability, or Natural Cure. So now I'm just going to pivot out here on my Volt Switch, and here's where I make a big switch, or a big mistake. I go straight into my Celesteela. Now, initially, I was thinking, this Chansey, maybe it's going to go for rocks, it's going to go for like a Toxic, but no. He goes for a Thunder Wave, effectively, crippling my Celesteela. I can't autotomize, speed up, I can't get fast in anything and just, sweep. So at this point, my Celesteela is kind of down for the count. Now, I don't know what I thought he would switch into. So I guess my safest bet here was to just go for a nice Leech Seed. He ended up going into his Electros. Now I'm definitely scared of this thing. I'm not quite at the point where I want to throw my Celesteela away. So I'm just going to switch out here. Back in my Rotom Heat. I can take anything Electros is going to go for. He can take even like a knockoff or something, but he ends up going for the U-turn, which is a little scary, as he goes into his Keldeo, which is definitely the one thing that can really take out my Rotom in one hit. Luckily enough, I do have a pretty dedicated switch to this thing in my Tsarina, being assault vested. So yeah, that Hydro Pump there, it really isn't doing anything. And I find out from that damage, he ends up being Specs, which is really nice to know. At this point, I can just, U-turn safely. He's not going to have anything, on Keldeo that can do anything to me. So he switches into his Galarian Weezing as I just U-turn out, and I'm going to my Rotom. At this point, I've got the offensive momentum, so I'm just going to go for another Volt Switch here. There's not much he can be doing to me. So Volt Switch out here into my Medicham. Now, here's where I make another mistake. I kind of underestimated Boston here. Obviously, looking back in hindsight, he's going out into Galarian Weezing here. I should have just gone for the Zen Headbutt here, and just, basically been able to 2-hit KO that thing. Instead, I go for the Power Up Punch and do no damage. I mean, the +1 to my attack is nice, but with his neutralizing gas and everything, I obviously am not being able to take this out. Now, I was looking at calcs here, and just by guessing by the fact that he was max HP, max defense, I knew that a Strange Stream could not kill me. So I make the decision to stay in and just go for a Zen Headbutt, which does a big amount of damage here. I think that was a pretty high roll there, even with my +1 attack. As he goes for the Strange Stream here, does a lot of damage. Doesn't kill me. As I managed to take out this Weezing here, which is nice. Although it does start to give him now offensive momentum. So again, Keldeo comes in, I go with my Serena, but at this point, Boston knows that this is my switch in, and he's just going to go for the Secret Sword here. Obviously, me being Assault vested and Secret Sword hits on the physical side, that's going to do a ton of damage to me. So I can't stay in. But he knows that I know that he's Specs now, so I'm going to go out into my Dragapult as he ends up goes into his Galarian Zapdos here. Now this was a point where I could have made one of two decisions. Judging that his Keldeo was Specs, I assumed that this was going to be Scarf. Also, the fact that he brought it in on what he was imagining would be a Dragapult, and that's what ended up happening. I'm imagining this is Scarf, and doing the calcs, there's no one move that he can go for that will one-hit KO me. I could have here gone for the Psychic Fangs, which wouldn't have knocked him out in one, but it would have been a 2-hit KO. And I would have just done massive damage, and that's probably what I should have ended up doing here. Instead, swap out into my Quagsire, which is my physical wall here. The Brave Bird does 39, respectable damage. I can obviously just recover that off easily. Now I make the move here. I know he's not going to stay in. He's not doing enough damage. So I'm going to go in for the Phase here move, and I go for the Yawn here, setting up the first of many 50-50s or mind games in this battle here. So I can either stay in, go for like a recover or a scald or something like that. Imagining he's going to want to either U-turn out or just hard switch out so he doesn't fall asleep. On the other hand, he could let this thing go to sleep, get a huge Giga Drain off on me, and kill my Quagsire. So I make the choice here that I don't want to be sacking Mons too early here. So I pull my Quagsire, go into my Celesteela as he goes for the U-turn. Perfectly predictable. At this point in the match, I think that was the safer move here. I don't regret that. As he goes in Keldeo. Looking at his calcs here, it can still do big damage to me. But I think he was just imagining I could switch into a I think he was afraid of Dragapult coming in if he ever wanted to get KOs on me. So I stay in as he flip turns out, and unfortunately I get paralyzed. I had gone for the Air Slash there, which would have gotten a little bit of damage off. If he had stayed in, I'm not sure that the Hydro Pump, obviously there's a chance Hydro Pump could have missed. I could have gotten a huge Air Slash off, gotten Keldeo down way down, down to like 20% HP or something like that, which would have been huge for me. But no, he brings in the Electros. So, go back into Rotom Heat. And this time I do make the correct play, as he goes for a Discharge here. My Rotom Heat eats that up like nothing. Go for a Pain Split, get a little bit of heat left, or health left. I was thinking he'd have some speed on this, which he ended up not. So I was imagining that I would go second in this turn order. So that was just a little bit of poor planning on me. As he goes back into the Keldeo. Now I can't even take like flip turn really well here, so I'm gonna obviously switch back out in my Keldeo, or into my Celesteela, which at this point I'm almost just like throwing away every time it comes in. Keep it in this time. It managed to survive one discharge. That's just because of all the HP I put into it. As I get a Leech Seed off, which isn't doing much. As he switches out, now I should have stayed in there. I knew, you know, at that point I could have stacked Celesteela nicely. He made the great momentum making move of switching back into Keldeo as I make the poor move of moving into my my Rotom here. So, you know, don't have a ton of switch-ins left. You know, my Tsarina is getting low here. So going to my Quagsire, which I know can take a hit. But at this point, you know, he's going for a flip turn, just gaining momentum. He gets the crit there. Not that it matters. Again, I'm not super physically bulky. He has probably no physical attack, so that's not doing much. Goes into his Eelektross here. Obviously can't stay in, worried about the Giga Drain. Going to my Celesteela. Again, you know, it takes a Giga Drain like nothing. And at this point, if he wants to go for a discharge, I think I do let it go down here. Yeah, so just sagging it. Finally, though, I do get to bring in my Mega Medicham, though. Now that Galarian Weezing is gone, there's not much that can take a hit from me. Though I do go for the Zen Headbutt, which was not the right move here. I should have gone for Power Up Punch. Power Up Punch, it wouldn't have killed Eelektross, but it would have done a ton. So I should have Powered Up Punch there, which would have done similar amounts of damage. But I would have been a +1 and would have been way more threatening here. As now he's just going to be, you know, turning out, gaining all that offensive momentum. At this point, I think, nope, still doesn't die yet. But yeah, bring in my Tsarina. He's just going to move out again. At this point, I think I sacked the Tsarina. No, okay, so now finally, okay, I'm getting back in. I have the offensive momentum here. Because, yeah, at this point, you know, seeing that he's a U-turn Stealth Rock set, I'm guessing he doesn't have like the Ancient Power thing that I was worried about. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch, imagining he's not going to want to stay in. As he moves out into Keldeo Resolute, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking this is the time that I'm going to be doing Overheat to his Jirachi, which would have knocked it out. But I think I make the correct move here. Volt Switching out, doing a ton of damage, ton of good damage. I can finally bring in my Dragapult. Now I'm still scared. There's a number of things he could switch into based on what I move, or what move I choose. You know, Dragon Darts would have killed this, Psychic Fangs would have killed this. Can't go Phantom Force because he still has that Chansey alive. I think I end up just going, yeah, knowing he'd switch out, I just go for the U-turn, which lets me get back in my Rotom Heat. I have the offensive momentum here again. I'm just gonna Volt Switch as he starts flinching me, and goddamn, I hate Jirachi. So I'm terrified how long this is gonna last. I get a Pain Split off, get a little bit of health left, or health back. At this point, I'm just trying to get out of here. I don't really care if I kill this thing or not. I don't want to give him momentum. So I think, yeah, fine. Okay, so I do get a Will-O-Wisp off. At this point, effectively neutralizing that Jirachi. It's not going to get any kills. It can still be certainly annoying with its flinches and whatnot, but not doing any kinds of damage here. As I think this is the turn. No, okay. Yes, okay, so I finally get my Volt Switch off. I can finally get in my Dragapult. Now at this point, you know, nothing I can do can kill this Jirachi from this. Dragon Dart does at most like 21%. U-turn like 16%. But you know, just to preserve that offensive momentum, I am gonna go for U-turn, get that thing real low as I go back into Quagsire. As he gets the Thunder Wave off, so I'm really glad I did that. Obviously, you know, not being affected by Thunder Wave there, don't need to worry about being paralyzed. At this point, I think I just go for the Yawn again. Or like, yeah, so yeah, go for the Yawn again, setting up another 50-50. Now he knows last time I switched out, so maybe he'd think, you know, I'm gonna switch out again. I'm not gonna go for that Giga Drain. I should have stayed in here, if I'm being honest. You know, Quagsire wasn't doing much at this point other than taking a hit from Galarian Zapdos. So I should have probably just left that in there. because now he's got offensive momentum. Luckily, I can sack my Serena here, gain it back, as he tries to go for a flip turn here. I can go into my Dragapult. At this point, I'm looking, now my Dragon Darts will kill his Jirachi, so I do go for it now, killing his Keldeo. As he goes into, his Galarian Zapdos. At this point, I can't take this out, and anything he goes for will kill me, so I need to hard switch here. I see Brave Birds taking out my Rotom. Would have loved to have that still, but again, nothing on my team could really take that. I think I made a bit of a misplay here. I probably should have gone into my Quagsire at this point, try to get like a Scald off or something. Instead, I go for the Psychic Fangs, knowing that he has locked in a Brave Bird, so we get a double down right here. So at this point, I needed to try to win with just my Medicham here. So this is where I make my, I guess, final and a pretty controversial play here. I know coming in that I can't one-hit kill his Chansey. I only have Power Up Punch and Zen Headbutt really to hit it. That being said, if I do get a +1 with a Power Up Punch, I can take it out. So he goes into Jirachi here, and again, we are speed tied. So this is a true 50-50. If I get this Power Up Punch off, there's a good chance I win the game. If he gets to move first and gets me with an Iron Head, he'll probably win. And he unfortunately ends up going first. So that's going to be game here. There's nothing I can really do. Obviously, that Eelektros's Giga Drain is going to one-hit KO me, no matter what I even want to do. I think I try to recover up here, a little bit of damage, or a little bit of health. He's still flinching me to hell, so not much I can really do here. Get my recover off. I don't know why he didn't just go straight into Eelektross. There's nothing I could have done to that would have, killed it. Could have just shortened the match a little bit there, but this is going to be a short end to this, or a long end of this game. Ends up switching out. Again, I can't do anything. Get a lucky burn, woo. Not going to be worth anything. As he gonna go for the Giga Drain, take me out. So great match, Boston. Really, there was just so many mind games and 50-50s going on. It could have gone either way. Which maybe next time there's definitely some changes to my team I want to make. I think finally trying like a baton passing set, getting my Mega Cham to be faster than everything on his team is gonna be really fun to try. But yeah, thanks Boston. Next week I play Zycofool and the Bologna Briones. So yeah, come back and watch that match with me. Peace.